Okay.
All
Hello.
right, guys. I'm still trying to figure out this new. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I am well. So, what was wrong with what I said?
I'm just getting into the live because I was listening on the go.
Okay.
So,
How old
could
are
you?
you?
I'm 23.
Do you have any question or anything?
Um, my question would be if I'm currently dating a guy that I consider to be a Henry, what
Okay.
would be the best thing that I could do to keep his attention?
You consider him to be a Henry?
Yes.
How old is he?
He's 23. He's about to be 24 in a month.
He's 23, about to be 24.
Yes.
And what do you want? What's the outcome you want with the man?
Marriage.
Okay. You want to be married. You want children?
Yes, sir.
So, you know what I've said about men who are under 30. They're not really in process or ready to be married.
Yeah, I know.
Does he want to be married?
I think so. I
Huh?
think so.
See, does this sound like it makes sense to you?
Cause we've been dating for maybe 6 months now.
Okay. He's 23. Is he in college?
No, he graduated with his
Okay, what does he
bachelor's.
do?
He's into tech. He's like a tech guy.
Uh huh. But, and you guys have been together how long?
6 months, like a little bit more than 6 months.
Well, if you want to be married, why are you dealing with a 23-year-old guy?
Because I don't. I feel I'm attracted to him.
Is that what you pick a man? Is that how you pick a husband?
No, but
Well, there's no but. If he was unattractive, would you be trying to fight to keep him?
no,
So
not at
you're
all.
picking him based on looks.
No, not no. Actually, I'm not. It's like a lot of other things that is like the reason why I do like him, but I am attracted to him though.
Okay, what does your father think about it?
I don't really know my dad.
Thank you. If you brought this young man, young thorough man around your father, would a father be willing to turn his daughter over to a man who is a young?
No.
So why are we talking? I mean, you know what I'm going to say.
So I should be dating older men.
Well, no, no. You know what I'm going to say. Before I said it, why did you need me to tell you that?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
I
Let
was
me
just
ask you.
hoping. I was just hoping that maybe it was like like a little advice that it was a little simple. Maybe I could like get give gifts a little bit more, like pay
Oh, you
attention.
want me to tell you what you wanted to hear. Because you already got your mind made up. So you really weren't asking me something. You were asking me to tell you something to fit what you've already want to hear.
Because I like this guy and I don't think that I want to date anymore.
So you're lazy.
No, I'm not lazy. I'm not. I just
Does
I
he
don't.
want to marry you? I
Yeah.
heard the yes. A nodding of the head does not say yes. That says I'm too embarrassed to say no, so I hope you go to the next question.
I don't know if it's a yes or no. I don't want to say.
Well, then why are you dealing with a man that you don't know if he wants to marry you?
That's true. That's true. So maybe I should only date men that want to be married.
Well, I don't even know if you're a wife yet because you're not moving like one. What you sound like a nice young lady, and you sound like the typical woman. You pick a man that you like, and he makes you tingle. And then you find ways to make guys who are not husbands fit. And then you end up being with them for a year, 2 years, and it ends the way it was always going to end. Then you get out here and you start dating again, and you're rusty. And then next thing you know, you mess around. You were 27 years old and had three relationships, all a year and a half, 2 years. None of them worked. Then you reach around 30 and you're angry because you mismanaged your 20s. Instead of saying, number one, am I a wife? Are you a wife?
Yes,
Were you raised to be a wife?
I think so.
Was your mother married?
The woman that raised me was married,
That's a mother.
right? So, in a sense, yeah, I was raised to become or learn how to be a wife.
You were raised to be a wife.
Yes.
Did you have any brothers?
No, I'm the only child.
Okay. How long were you with the woman that raised you?
10 years.
So what are some things that, was she married?
Yes.
Was she married when they adopted, when they took you over in?
No, she got married, like inside of me being with her.
So I'm not hearing a woman that was raised to be
So,
married.
in my opinion, I've seen the differences of her being a single woman, and then I've seen how she changed.
You watched a woman, but were you trained? Do you know how to cook?
Yeah, I do.
Hmm. Can somebody learn how to cook simply by watching you prepare food?
I don't know. I never tried that. I never.
Can you ride a bicycle by watching someone else ride a bicycle, even if they're a pro?
No, I would have to like take my time.
Right, you would have to be taught.
Right.
See, this is why, whether you like it or not, that mean old patriarchy and fathers, this is why fathers exist because women pick poorly. You pick in your feelings. Everything I've asked you is a logical question that you can follow, if then else, 1-0, on off. But it's not going to change your mind. You still like him, and I'm going to try to make him be the one because I don't like dating and this and that. No, it would be better if you learned, if you were actually a wife, you dated a man who wanted to be a husband and get married and move on. But that's not what you're doing. You're moving like a modern woman. And I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt being nice. There's also another alternative. Women like you end up getting pregnant on men and trapping them with babies. That's the dark side of this.
I don't want any babies.
You don't want children?
Well, not right now. I don't have anything to give a child.
What do you mean?
I don't feel like I'm ready. I don't have any. I don't have enough to give a child.
I don't understand.
Um, Support as financially. Just the simplest thing I could think about financially. I couldn't take care of a child right now.
So if you were married, you wouldn't want to have a child?
Yeah, of
No.
course.
No, there's no course.
If I was married at this age right now, I would. I would. But I'm single and I'm not married, so I don't want kids.
So you're saying you don't have anything, you don't have enough money to have a child on your own.
Right.
Are you sexually active?
Not not recently.
Okay. So ultimately what I'm getting to is you, 23-year-old men are not ready to be husbands.
I know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
For him to be ready,
In
then
a
he won't.
sense,
But then he won't pick you.
he won't pick me.
No,
Why would he not pick me
because
though?
he's going to be different when he's ready.
I can understand that.
I don't think you really can. I think you. I mean, look, you ladies really believe that you're going. Look, you want to know? You want to know the truth? If I had him on the phone right now, and you were looking and you were listening, and he didn't know, and I was just talking to him like a man, say, "Hey man, you date somebody? Yeah, how you like about? All right, let me ask you. If you had $500 million in the bank, would you pick this woman to deal with? What do you think his answer would be?
Wow.
500 million.
That's a funny thing because we both love money the same way. I don't. He would not pay. I would say he wouldn't. Like, he wouldn't. He. That's a sad question to ask.
Not a sad question to ask. You're an adult. Grow up. Men are as faithful as their options. You're the best he can do, and vice versa. He's the best you can do. It's not an insult.
Sorry about that.
These are not insults.
Okay.
So the question is, as a young woman, you have a shorter window of time to get it figured out. You don't have time to do something you said earlier. I'm going to wait. Who told you you have time to wait?
I had a plan. I had a plan.
What's that?
I was giving it up until 25 to have like a serious relationship and try this out.
With him?
Yeah. Yes.
What can you learn with him that's going to be of value to another man?
Um, being by myself
What can you learn with him
with him.
trying this out for the next 2 years that's going to be of use to another man?
Um, that's a hard question.
It's
I
not
can.
a hard question. The answer is nothing. I'm talking through you right now. You young ladies need to understand this shit. Just because the questions are hard doesn't mean you don't answer them. Grab your ovaries and be a woman. 70 years ago, your grandmother had 2 or 3 kids by this time and her husband. These are hard questions. Well, you're asking for adult shit. You're asking to be a wife. Or do you want to just be a kept woman and a kid that had babies? A man wants a woman who's going to be something to be a benefit. No
I
man
do
wants to
want to
hear a woman
benefit a
say these are
man.
hard questions. Men want women who have thought about this stuff. Relationships are serious. They're not games. They're not toys.
Right.
So, if you're not going to, I said you don't have time to waste. No young woman has time to waste.
Right.
So why are you saying, I'll just do this and just try it out? Because you don't value your time and, well, whatever reason. This is what I mean. You weren't raised to be a wife. Wives don't move this way. They don't waste their time. They know that this is the area of time to be doing something.
Okay. I understand.
But you like it. And I want you guys to understand, for some of you guys may think I'm being overly harsh, she's been with him for 6 months. She's this attached to a 23-year-old guy for 6 months. This is a feelings-based situation. Has he seen anyone else?
No. To my knowledge,
Do
no.
you live in the same city?
We live close, yes.
Close meaning how far, bro? How long?
For 30-minute drive.
Okay. All right. And is he working?
Yes.
Does he have a roommate?
No, he lives by himself.
Where do you live?
Lives with my mom.
Your mom and dad?
No, just my mom.
I thought she got married.
No, her sister got married. So I was,
You're raised by your aunt.
yeah.
Is she still married?
Yes.
Why aren't you living with them?
Because they moved down south and I don't have my driver's license. So it's going to be hard to work while I
Why
was
don't you have your
there.
driver's license?
I'm not comfortable driving.
You need to grow up. You don't need a man. You You need to grow up.
Right.
I live at home with my mommy. I don't drive. I don't have a driver's license,
A permit. I have my permit.
but not comfortable driving. I get it. But you gotta see. This wouldn't sound nearly as bad if you were the 30-year-old man, because at least he could teach you these things.
But I don't want to be with a 30-year-old man. I don't want to be with them.
You want to
Well,
be
it's
with
not
who?
that I don't want them. It's just
You
that
no no you don't you'll be with say again. I
the
need you.
ones that approach me, I don't want them.
I don't want to be with a 30-year-old man. I want to do what?
Let me reiterate.
I
The
want to hear
ones
what you said first. Don't reiterate. Then
I don't
what?
want to be with a 30-year-old man.
What you say after that?
And I was gonna stop myself and then correct myself and say I don't want to be with the ones that approach me.
What age do you think your husband will be at this age? If you were a wife, what age do you think your husband would be?
He would be around 28, 30, but just the ones that approach me
No,
aren't.
no, no, no. If you were a wife, you think your husband would be how old? If you were a 100% wife today.
Mm, he'll probably be 40.
Don't tell me what you think I want to hear.
I'm
I'm
saying
what
he'll
you
probably be
believe.
40
But you said, okay, you don't want a 30-year-old. Now you just added 10 years to it.
because I know I've dated before, so I know I know the things that I could get from these men, but I just rather not try to do that right now.
It's not making any sense, man. Don't try to outthink me. It's not going to work. I'm just saying, you don't want a 30-year-old man, so why would you want a 40-year-old man?
That's the age range that the men that are ready to be married are. That was the question. Because I was
I asked
told
you how old. I said, if you were a wife today, how old would your husband be? You said he'd be 28 to 30. That's the first thing that came out of your mouth. Then you said it again. Then I said, all right, 28 to 30. How old would he be? 40.
okay, so let me just say generally just a good man. Age is a thing. I'm grown. I'm 23 years old, so I could choose who I could want to be with. I could be with a 60, 80-year-old if I really wanted to be, but it's not common. It's not common. I don't run into that. I'm not with those type of people.
It's not a common to what?
That I get those feelings for those type of men. I'm
You
not
don't marry a
impressed.
man on feelings. That's why so many black women are single. You marry a man based on character, the ability to provide and protect.
Right.
So many of our women pick men based on looks and tingles. That's why you want somebody who's closer because he's not going age. What is a 28-year-old going to teach you?
So nothing.
What, 28-year-old is 5 years older than you.
But it's really
See, and I'm doing this, guys, because I want you to understand. I want to show you how little our women have been taught about men, relationships. So they're picking based on they're eating dessert first. It's like, oh, I just want to go for what makes me what I like. It's like, well, no, you need to eat nutritious food that's going to have. No, 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 no. I want to eat cotton candy, candied apples first. What's the oldest man you've ever dated since you dated?
I'm gonna say about 40.
Okay. The Nation of Islam, whether you like them or not, there's a formula that floats around the black community saying the best age for a woman for a man is half that man's age plus 7. So if you're 23, your husband will be what? 35, 33. 33, half of 33 is 32, is 16.2, 16.5 plus 7. Your husband will be about 33 years old.
I did the wrong math, but okay. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Half of 33 is 16.5 plus 7, 23 and a half. After 32 is 16 plus 7. You can do it 32, 33. But the point of the matter, he's not 28.
I don't.
So when I sat down and I talked about at the age men should really start looking at marriage, 30 is where you decide whether or not you want to even have a family. But most guys aren't really ready today up till around 35 to do what men need to do and what women want, whether or not women articulate it. What women, especially black women, want a man to do, you need to be in a position to be able to provide.
Right.
How many kids do you want if you had children?
2.
Two. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're married and pregnant with the first child?
No.
Hmm. Do you want your kids to be able to go to college if they chose to?
Yes.
Would you like to be able to travel nationally and internationally with your family?
Yes.
If you had a daughter, would you want to be able to pay for her wedding?
Yes.
How much, what percentage of the overall family financial load, all of that, travels, trips, vacations, what percentage do you want to have to be responsible for your entire lifetime?
10%.
10%. What state do you live in?
New York.
You're tri-state area in New York City?
Yes.
How much is a man going to need to make to afford an upper class family in New York City?
a yearly. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Ballpark.
$250,000 a year.
Ma'am, you've already said you want $1 million worth of children.
And so that's like impossible.
Two children, $484,000 are what your children are going to cost you. Middle class children are $243,000.
So I need to get to the millions just to live comfortably.
No, what I'm saying, what you want a man to be able to do to provide, so you don't have to work when you're pregnant. So you only have to be responsible for 10%, if that. So you can travel nationally, internationally, so your kids can go to college if they want to, so you can pay for a daughter's wedding, so you can have a luxury lifestyle, because that ain't normal. You didn't grow up that way. And your
No,
mom,
I didn't. I did not. I did not. I did not.
and you think $250,000 will do it. That,
No.
man, $250,000 adjusted in New York is really about $10,000 a month down here. So that tells me you must not make a lot of money, because $250,000 sounds like a lot. And what you're really talking about in New York, because you're talking about a man making around $700,000 to $800,000 a year.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the equation. What percentage of men, black men in particular, make that amount of money? You're talking about 0.1% of men, roughly under 150,000 men total.
Yeah. And I've only dated black men, so I wouldn't know anything else besides that.
So, if that's the lifestyle you want to have, how do you have any time to waste? Because this guy can't afford that.
I
He
don't.
cannot afford it.
Not
When do
yet.
men hit their financial stride?
I don't think that.
45 to 55. See, we've told women in general, black men in particular, that they want men who are damn near millionaires, or at least earning 300 plus thousand. And they want them when they're early 20s. And you know what they're judging men based off? Basketball players, football players, musicians, entertainers. You're not judging based off of business.
Because for a regular woman that's not in the business field or corporate field, it's hard to get in contact with those men that you really want. So we settle for what we see.
But they don't
And
want, but they want something too. You could want them, but do they want you, or women like you're talking about?
I don't. I mean, everybody's not gonna want me, but majority.
These men want, what do you think these men want?
They want somebody that's like easy to talk to, maybe somebody that knows something. Um, you know, just like a friend, but
No,
a
no,
nice,
no, no.
nice.
Wife is a job title. See,
I was
there's a misconception that men with money just want beautiful bobbleheads. No, you're going to be married to a man that has that kind of money and that kind of responsibility. You're going to have to be a sharp woman.
right.
Your name is going to be on the insurance policy, the deed, in case of emergency. And there's this whole notion with younger women that these guys they just want a woman who's pretty and inspires them and just fun to talk to. Talk to about what?
That's true. It's not that much to talk about after you get to the basics.
It's my point, man. And this is what I mean by being raised to be a wife. The conversation I'm having with you is stuff that should have been taught to our women earlier, so you can come in the door providing value. If you were to find a man like this, if he would have choose to marry you, you'd be learning on the job.
But like, he's not perfect. Like, he wouldn't be the perfect husband. Don't you think? Like,
He's not perfect. He's better than you. He's worth more than you. You're average. He's not. And here's what women don't like. They don't like it when I say that. When you got an average woman, average education, cutish, cute, y'all are, there are thousands and thousands of women like you. I'm in Atlanta and I see beautiful women every day. Women that, how tall are you?
5'7",
Your size?
4.
Yeah. In Atlanta, not uncommon. There's 17 to 1 black women every day. And in New York City, there's even more. There's a lot of women of all types. And my thing is, you all have vaginas, you all have breasts, you all have the orifices that we like. But what are you? Just all female. What makes you different than this model or that model or this model? But he is special. He's rare. Who's more rare, the kind of man you want or a woman like yourself?
The kind of man I want.
So that does make him special. That does make him damn near perfect.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But you're saying that after I reframed it, and the problem is that many of you ladies, because you're so privileged and entitled, you think you have been made to believe that you're equal to this man.
That's the thing. I feel like as me growing to be a wife or already being a wife, I think I know that in a sense from your content, and in a sense that my place is kind of below or behind a man. But me being the woman that I am, I have to get comfortable with saying that.
You have to be what?
I have to get comfortable with saying that.
Well, you got to get comfortable with saying it. There were girls who've been saying it since they were 3. That's why I say, why does a man who has thousands of women to pick from and women who are trained to be wives have to pick a wife, a woman who has to get comfortable with what she was trained to be? Why would you do that? Why would you, if you were going to, let's take it completely out of relationships, okay? Let's make it pet ownership. If you could get a pedigree pet who was already trained and housebroken as a pup, and then you got this shelter dog who has a heart of gold but needs to learn everything. You're already a busy person. Which pet do you pick?
They're gonna pick the
one that's already ready to go.
Yeah.
Because a wife is a job duty. When women used to get married, they understood what it meant to be a wife. So on the day you get married, you consummate your marriage, and the next day you get to work. You already cleaning, cooking, basic household chores, tending to your man. Today, women don't know the basic stuff and don't even really come with the willing spirit to learn.
Right.
Today, you're just like being hip to the concept that you got to do something other than have sex with us. So you're having to get comfortable with saying stuff, and I'm like, That's the easiest thing to do, but that just shows you how far women like you are away. Saying it don't mean shit. I mean,
I'm
a dude can tell you gonna build your mansion.
well. I'm better in person personally. Like I'm a better in person type of
It
person.
has nothing to do with you personally. We're having a conversation about you and about women in general. But my point is, you were raised as an average woman. You weren't raised to be a wife.
Okay.
Uh, you weren't raised to be a wife, and I'm not talking to a wife.
Okay. No arguments there.
There shouldn't be, because of anybody who knows better between you and I, you may never, you're not there. Could you marry an average man?
Yeah, I could marry an average man.
Could you submit to an average man like you would submit to an above average man, a rich man? Could
Yeah.
you submit to a guy who's making $40,500, $41,000 a year, who works at the MTA and have his two kids, and put him in PS 1832, and you got to work 40 hours a week, and he got to work 40 hours a week? There ain't no trips internationally. There are no 2-week vacations.
And I'm his
There's,
wife.
yes. There's just work. There's work, paycheck to paycheck. Kids go to public school. There's no fancy restaurants.
No, no.
No. Can
Okay,
you afford that right now?
I could do an average guy
For a lifetime.
for a lifetime.
Remember the show Everybody Hates Chris?
Mhm.
Could you live like that? No.
But yes, I could. She wasn't working. She didn't have to
No.
work.
But see, that's
Her
the
she
whole
had two
point.
jobs.
She wasn't working. That was in the 70s, but that was an average lifestyle. You got to work and live at that level.
With no trips, like
No,
no Disney.
can you afford? No. Can you afford it? You know how much Disney costs?
It's expensive.
Can you afford Disney?
No.
So if you can't afford it on your own, why do you get it when you're married? Tell me.
You're right.
No, no, but I'm asking. I know I'm right, but I'm having a comment. Why do women like
Because
yourself
it's
think that
treats. It's treats for it's gifts.
it's an expense? And what I'm saying is, as a single woman who earns what you earn, you know you got to live within your means, okay?
Mm.
But when a man comes along, why do women like yourself feel like that he should be able to pay for all this stuff? That's why I said, guys, you're going to have to be able to pay for the world because that's what they expect.
But
But
I
they can't
would
afford it themselves.
but I would date an average man.
But there are no trips to Disney. I didn't go to Disney.
Well, if that's the case, then no, because that's what I'm used to as of me right now. I cannot put little my standards for somebody. I can't. I've been on trips. I've been places. Like that's a small aspect of the thing, but
Excuse me. Did you pay for those trips?
no.
What the French toast are you talking about?
But I wouldn't. I'm not accustomed
Excuse
to
me.
paying.
Excuse me. You were a child. See, guys, that's why I wanted to get you. Don't be confused by the sweet tone and the cute face. She's just as modern as the rest of them.
I
Hey,
consider myself a kid.
stop. If a man can't pay for her to do what her mommy and daddy did, or not her mom and daddy, your aunt and her husband, when you were a kid, you know why they could afford to do that? Because she got married. Did she do it for you when she was unmarried?
No, we didn't.
No. Your mama didn't do it. So I want you to understand. You expect someone who came from a mom who didn't raise her, your aunt did, and your aunt couldn't afford a luxury lifestyle. She provided for you. She roof over your head, food in your stomach. But then when she got married, there were two people living in a house, and they could afford little luxuries from time to time.
Right.
You were fortunate to even get that, and you're an only child. See, women have been told that men are utilities. They,
I
so,
mean, you got.
so if a man was making average money, 40,500, and you had to live in, everybody loves Chris life, but you had to work just as hard as he had to work. Would you get married?
No.
Or then die alone?
Well, then it's I feel like then he should want more for himself.
Yeah, he wants something. Yeah, he's gonna live in peace by himself. That's why I don't have any. That's why I don't have any problem looking women like you in the face and tell you go to the cemetery by yourself quickly. Get out of the dating market and leave men alone.
I think that's a bit,
No, it's
silly.
not because you basically reduced a man to if he can't. If I gotta work just as hard by myself with him, he ain't worth nothing. You're not looking at the fact that he will be with shush. He will be with you through life. He will be the father of your children. You have someone to work with. I want you guys to understand. You guys will, a lot of you guys feel like you're being a little harsh because I know what I read from people. You have basically reduced a man down to a wallet. Tell me I'm wrong. You have the floor.
I mean, I feel like you're wrong. I really have a connection with the person I'm talking to, and it's not on like a monetary
I'm not talking
basis.
about, no, don't try to backpedal with the person you're spoken to. We're talking about the example, the scenario. I just said if you had to, okay, why do you feel like you should not have to work hard as a wife as you do as a single woman? Make that make sense.
Because a okay, so without a canvas, I can't paint anything. I can't, I have nothing to
Talk to me
do.
like I'm four. Don't use metaphors. Just, you got to work to pay rent, put a roof over your head in New York as
Hmm.
a single woman. One day you will.
Right.
And if you had to do the same thing with a man, that's just too much. You'd rather do it by your. Make it make sense. You
I
work as
wouldn't want to work as hard as I would if I was single. I wouldn't want to work as hard as I would have to if I was with someone.
Okay, let me explain why this is dumb in our community too. These are the same women who talk about how educated they are and they're entrepreneurs, but yet they think owning a business is just filing an LLC or S corp is the key to wealth. Not realizing that working for yourself is the hardest thing you can ever do. Working for somebody else is easier.
I know that.
Relationships are signing up for more work.
I know that.
Well, then why the hell do you think if being single has a workload of here, a relationship by its definition has a workload of this?
It's a, it's the emotional toll that the relationship takes on women that may be
What
a different
emotional toll? What do you mean?
men. They act like monogamous, like loyalty wise. A man could be with multiple females, dating multiple females, and a woman like myself could only want to be with one guy, and knowing that that guy is with other women, it takes an emotional toll on you, especially when you feel as though you have to be loyal, and a guy that's not expected of a guy. I wouldn't expect me this age. I wouldn't expect the guy to be loyal
Excuse me. So you mean so what I think I'm hearing you say is being married means I got to be faithful to him, but he's going to cheat.
No, I'm saying before the marriage.
I
Before.
don't talk before the marriage. I'm talking. You say the emotional toll a man takes on you, and we're talking about a marriage. What's the
well,
emotional toll a man takes on you in marriage? And you immediately went to infidelity.
well, I was just giving an example, but it's a lot of other things that
Well,
somebody can
okay, well
do.
then what else?
They could be unresponsive, dismissive, um, rude, a slob. Like it's a lot of things that you could fall in love with somebody, and everything that they could do could just be upsetting, and you have to take that with the good and bad.
And then what about your unresponsive, rude slob ass?
I don't think I'm not. I'm really attentive,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. See, this is what they do, gentlemen. It's always the man that's the emotional toll, but they are all sunshine and daffodils to deal with. Every man that had a woman, and y'all are bitches when you want to be. 100% of marriages are initiated by men. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. You want something, then you leave it. And then the way you talk about it is, well, if I'm going to get married, the emotional toll. So you'll have an emotional toll as a wife, but he has no emotional toll as a husband.
I didn't say that, but I
Well,
just
then make
said
it make sense because that's what it sounds to me like you said. That's why all our hearts are going up because that's what they heard.
I understood why they would
Is
think
there a
that, but
disadvantage? Is it more advantageous for a man to have a wife or a wife to have a husband? Who gets the better end of that deal?
um, I guess it's better for the woman.
I'm asking you because the way you're talking about it, the woman gets the short end of the stick. Because a man's working over here. You got an apartment or a flat, and you working as a single woman. He got an apartment or a flat, he working as a single man. Y'all both work y'all's lives until you die.
Well, if you
But if
have
you
a
choose to be together and get married, you live together, but you still got to go to work. But then you got somebody in life with you, and then you can choose to have children, and you got to both manage that. But to you, the way you're talking about it is, oh, that's increasing my workload because over here it's just a job, but now it's over here I got a job plus kids plus a husband.
and what is the plus for the husband? What is the plus that's added on to
I'm
him? I
asking
don't.
you, man. That's what you put out there.
Right. So I only can account for what I can do. I don't know his responsibilities. I don't. He can tell me his problems, but personally, he doesn't have to put his weight of his responsibilities on me. I take care of what I have to, and he take care of what
So
he
then
has
that's what.
to.
So, man, it'll be. That's what I mean. Lazy. Modern women are lazy. Men and relationships are supposed to be fun. This is why I've been focusing on self-awareness and the mindset. Man, you've described marriage as not like it's not a serious thing. This is life. Childbirth is life or death. Raising children is life or death. It's a serious thing.
Okay, I misheard what you said, but I caught on to it.
But no, but you described being having a husband as an emotional toll and this and that. Well, then you should stay single, or even better, date a woman.
I don't.
No, then there won't be any emotional toll.
but but that's what my personality though. With me being sensitive and or like me being sensitive or
So do men cause pain?
no.
Then why are you describing men as bringers of pain?
Because you asked me a certain question, then I had to
I
answer.
asked you if you have to work just as hard as a single woman as a married woman, would you want to be married? You said no, and the first thing you said was because of the emotional toll a man takes on you. I listened very well.
Yes, and with emotional toll, I want to include the fact that you are almost like an assistant. You are almost like an everything to this man. You replace a lot of things that he uses if it when he
Such
gets
as,
his, such
get
as
back,
a calendar,
we need to give me more background. Such as,
such as a calendar, such as an alarm clock, an iron. Like I mean, you
hmm
turn into the person that transports his laundry from the laundry. Like it's the little things that we have to pick up on just to make your life simpler that you may not even notice.
hmm and what does he do for you?
Whatever he feels like.
Oh,
I can't tell someone
hold
what to
on,
do for
stop,
me.
stop. Women everywhere seem to want. So why do you want to be married if that's what a man comes with? All these tasks and so forth.
Because I love men. I'm
I
not
don't. But what do you love about them?
that they're men. I love men for being men, and I
What?
love the sex. I love sex with men.
That's a man, and then what else?
I can only speak on the one that I'm with, but I like, hugging him. I like being with him. I like,
Remove all. Okay, you get physical intimacy and affection. Then what?
their brain, like you guys' mind and the way you perceive things. Like I'm a woman myself, so I
So
know
what does that do for you though?
it gives me a different outlook on the
So that
world.
means he's doing something and you got to go over and pick his brain.
Not all the time, because
Oh, but no, but that so you got to iron something, but he has to give you a different point of view on something. Sounds like he's putting in stuff too. What else?
but but that's like conversational. Everybody wants a conversation. Nobody
We don't
wants
want to talk to
to.
your ass.
I know.
See, this is what I meant by female superiority. Women think what the fuck they do is so valuable, so special, and what it should be valued in platinum and diamonds, and what men do is in bronze and copper. This has been one of the most insightful conversations because as cute as you are and as soft-spoken, you are just as modern as any other. You don't think highly of men other than what men can do for you.
I don't. I like men. I don't think that.
Ma'am, I didn't say you, and here's the thing. I don't think you're being malicious. This is just how you were raised. It's the mindset. Do you think you have spoken about men in a way you would like your son to hear himself being spoken about?
No.
Then that's all it is, man. It's not me. Why should men be excited and look forward to marrying women like you who speak like this? I think that's a fair question.
Well, they'll have to find out.
That's bullshit. Unresponsive. No, that's unacceptable. I asked, why should men be excited or look forward to marrying women who talk and think like this? And men he's gotta roll the dice and find out.
We take a lot of risks with you men.
Like what?
Um,
There's so many you can't name them.
I can't name any right now.
No, you said we take a lot of risks. Granted, name one. Name three.
Um, what if you can't? Well, okay, this is kind of like touchy or whatever, but if you can't just let go of your mom, like being a mama's boy, sometimes that could just be annoyance, a nuisance.
Sure. Next.
Um, being lazy, but then that's just all around. That could be another person. I just don't want to say men, but
Okay.
um, I don't know.
Man, you're an educated woman who can do what you want at 23. I can marry this. And you said we take a lot of risks with you men.
I don't think I can name another one. You wanted me to name three, and I can.
No, ma'am. I just want you to. I want you as an adult woman who can do what she wants to do. Stand by what comes out of your mouth.
Hmm.
You said we take a lot of risks with you men. Name them, because I can name the ones we take with you. When men marry, 100%, nearly 100% of marriages are initiated by men. We propose, you don't. You accept. 80% of divorce actions are initiated by women. When divorces happen, 90+% of the time, women get the children. Men lose their pension. Men are in a weakened financial position. They can lose pension, property, future earnings, all kinds of things. This does not happen to women in the same numbers. This is less than 10% of the time. When a woman ends up paying a man, it's national news. Women get the children. Women get the property. They get spousal support. They get alimony. And they get the social credit. I've been married, divorced, it didn't work. Men, so if the situation were reversed, would you want to get married? If you as a woman had to pay the cost, potential cost that men have to pay?
As far as
We
like,
don't, we don't, when divorce happens, you guys initiate 8 out of 10.
if
Eight,
I
8 out of 10. That means you can cheat on your husband with his brother, get pregnant with his child, and still get the house, the pension, retirement, property, and the kid. And he has to pay child support for the kid he already had with you.
that's crazy.
You could initiate infidelity, and men have to pay. You know that's true. Would you want to get married at that? Would you want to roll the dice, like you said, to find out?
No, I wouldn't.
So why are you so flippant in talking about what men should do? When what men have to do dealing with women like you who have not thought about who we are as men, you don't know what we want, you don't know how to serve us, you don't know how to be around us. We got to just figure it out. See, this is what I mean. Y'all aren't serious women. Y'all just because you have no cost. Today there's no consequence for being a woman. Well, just try it, see what happens. If not, I'll just get a divorce and I'll get some child support. You're not, and what I'm saying, man, is what I said at the beginning. You may be cute, you may be soft spoken, but you're not a wife. You're a modern woman. Modern women make horrible wives. It's not because you're bad people. It's because of your mindset. Men are something to be feared or used. From the time you're a little girl, what were you told about men? Boys. They nasty, they dirty, they don't do this, watch out, and so forth. Or even older men. Or they do stuff for you. What were you taught that you were supposed to do for a man?
Cook. I was told to cook for a man.
Did you cook for your stepfather, whatever his title was?
Yeah, I've seen my aunt cook. I've
Did
seen
you cook for him?
no,
Don't just say something because you know I'm gonna dig into it.
no, I did not cook.
So, what men did you serve?
I served my an ex of mine.
Okay. So when I said, what were you taught to do for a man? And there was no either man in the house. You did nothing for him. See the cooking. What was your aunt's husband? What's Ralph? What was Ralph's favorite meal?
I'm not even sure.
Oh, okay. You only had 10 years with him, right there, man. How long?
They was married for like 8 years.
And you were there the entire 8 years, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know what his favorite meal is.
No, but that's not my husband.
But I bet you he paid for stuff for you, didn't he?
But that's not my husband.
That's not the fucking question. I bet he paid for you like you were his biological daughter.
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Don't play with me when you start talking about what men do. It'll get bad real quick. So when it was your birthday or something, Ralph had to pitch in to make sure the princess got what she wanted, whether it was perfect or not. He had to put in. You don't even know what the man who would have been your daddy's favorite meal was. And you gonna tell me you were taught to serve a man? Prince Toast out.